Hi, this is Chris Lesso. Hope you're fantastic. And I want to go into one of my favorite subjects, practice, the daily habits we have and the daily practice that we put towards our craft and our lives. And in my case, it's drumming and many other things, but drumming is such a challenging craft, and really practice is the road to get us to our goals. So this is on 10 practice hacks for a super busy day. And I call these hacks in a little bit of a joking way because there really is no shortcut. Okay, there's no shortcut that replaces 10,000 hours of really hard, challenging, focused work and what I call going in the no fun zone and just getting to it and getting those repetitions, and of course get great mentors around you and teachers and all that stuff. And I'll go into what it's like in another video to have like that perfect practice hour, like that 60 minutes of just that day where we get that time in. But this is for those days where they just whiz by. Sometimes life gets in the way and we just don't get that bubble of time that we'd like. So this is 10 really quick ways to connect with our instrument and our craft. And it could be drumming or it could be something else, really, because I really believe in compounding consistency. So it's like the little things we do every day might not seem to add up to very much at the time, but done over, 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, 50 years, add up to massive things. And this is really how great things are accomplished. So on those days where you can't really get the practice that you want, at least you get that little bit of connection that adds up to big things over time. So here we go, 10 things. First thing is undistracted listening, music time. And I call this almost the Questlove factor. Questlove, the fantastic drummer that plays in The Roots, one of my favorites. And I saw a video once where he went into his library, and I think he's got 80,000 LPs or 500,000 LPs or something crazy like that. And I saw this video where there's like a ladder going up to the many LPs, and he just spends a lot of time really listening to music, drums, grooves, different feels. And I know I said undistracted listening, but sometimes this can even be in your car or during a commute on the subway or something. So at least a time where you're not watching cat videos or playing Candy Crush Saga or something, where you're actually really focused listening to music. It counts, even if it's like one song. Second thing, do a video review. I love to videotape my gigs and my shows and sometimes a bit of my practice. So on a day that's really, whizzing by and I can't get that practice, sometimes I'll just go over a quick piece of a video or of a past gig that I'm reviewing, and I find that really valuable to, it's almost like an athlete would go over a game tape and just check the finer points of his game. Third thing, what I call the 3-minute rule. Just sit down and play for 3 minutes. Now, 3 minutes minimum. Now, if you get your butt, to the gym and you start working out, sometimes you start having fun and it turns into 45 minutes before you know it. So I just try to get the sticks in my hand. I sit down, I tell myself, okay, I can find 3 minutes. If I can't find 3 minutes in a day, I have no life, really. So I can play for 3 minutes, play a few paradiddle combos, whatever, stick control, even just one song. Sometimes I'll just play and just express myself, but at least I connected with my instrument, the 3-minute rule. Number 4, think drums. Just think drums. Sometimes when you're walking down the street, you can listen to the rhythms around you and put them together in certain ways. Sometimes I'll be in the grocery store lineup and I'll hear a song over the speaker system and I'll just think about how is that groove constructed? What's going on? I'll just kind of try to think drums. The rhythm is surrounding us at all times. Number 5, sing the drums. If you can say it, you can play it. So sometimes just singing a beat or singing a certain rhythm, if I'm walking or basically if I'm anywhere, even whispering under my breath. People may think I'm a little strange, but I don't care. I'm getting my practice in. And I really got this from the concept of tabla. and speaking the rhythms. It's called conical. Sometimes it's called speaking the bowls. In the north and south, it has different terms, but it could be takadimi takita takita takadimi takada, stuff like that. You're basically speaking the syllables. But if you're just singing drums, it could be boom schmack, boom boom schmack, or doom ta doom doom ta doom ta doom ta doom ta doom, stuff like that. Just kind of talking different rhythms, and even just a couple minutes, this helps form ideas in your head. So when you sit down, that's what's going to come out. So I got so fired up doing the 10 practice hacks that I actually forgot number 6, talk drums. Now I'm here with my good friend Ed Mortensen, and we are doing it right now. We are having coffee and just talking drums. And we had a long drive to PASIC recently, and just the talk in the drive, just talking about ideas, talking about different practice concepts, talking about influential drummers. You can see we got Dave Matthews in the back, Mr. Carter Beauford, we were talking about that. I know different cities have like drummer breakfast clubs, and drummers just kind of come and hang out and drink coffee and share ideas. So sometimes just with a good drummer friend, you can really grow in that way. What do you think, Ed?
2 thumbs up over here.
Fantastic. Good coffee, good drums, talk drums, and get better. Next one, number 7, set yourself up for the next day. This has happened to me sometimes where the day whizzes by, it's at the end of the day, and I say, okay, at least if I set myself up for the next day, I'll grab my practice journal and I'll just write down what am I going to focus on for the next day, so that I know what I'm doing. My subconscious starts working on it. So when I sit down the next day, I'm ready to go and I have a focused plan. So I'm planning ahead. Number 8, what I call traffic university. So I spend time in my car commuting. I might be on the subway, just different, even going for a walk. I'll be listening to a podcast, or I'll be listening to, some kind of recording or lesson. So there's a great podcast called Drummer's Resource, which is fantastic interviews with so many of the greatest drummers in the world. So I might be listening to Dennis Chambers break down what he does, or Kenny Aronoff or something like that. So I call it Traffic University. I'm always learning. Number 9, visualization. Visualization is a really powerful tool. So you could spend even 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I call it going to the mind gym. The mind gym. It's a really cool tool that I've learned, and there's a book called that. You can check that out. But just closing your eyes, taking a few deep breaths, and just visualizing yourself on the drums. And the great part about this is your neighbors will not complain, completely silent. And there's been a few studies that show when you sit down and visualize versus actually doing the physical movements, you're actually improving sometimes just as much as if you were actually there physically playing the drums or playing basketball or whatever it is. So visualization, very powerful tool. And lastly, number 10, idea review. Now on my iPhone, I always use the voice recorder, and if I get an idea, sometimes I'll be quietly in a line number, and I've got all these little snippets on my iPhone. I'll just go back and review them. So sometimes, even for 2 to 5 minutes, just going over an idea, it keeps it fresh in my mind. So when I sit down at the drums, I'm kind of going over that creativity again, and I can expand on that. So there you go, 10 hacks for a busy day where you can still get your practice in. That perfect 60 minutes would be great, but if you don't, do one of these or even a few of these. You can choose them throughout the day. All 10 of these are going to be on my website, chrislesso.com. So please check these out. Go there and find it in the blog section. My name's Chris Lesso. I can't wait to help you more on this journey. We're all on the same journey of self-expression, focus, and confidence, playing the drums and having fun. Practice every day, compound it, and I'll talk to you soon. Have fun.